Good morning, KSP family. I'm actually just gonna bring this in a little bit closer. I wonder if I have to raise it up a bit. I've decided to actually do this morning's live in my dining room because it's Saturday morning, so I'm a little bit lazy. It's a beautiful sunny day here. I did my walk by the river. I don't know if any of you ever meditate, but meditation has been one of the greatest things for my brain. I've been doing it now for about 8 years, 20 minutes every morning. Obviously not every morning perfectly, but every morning. But I don't know about you, if you've tried it before and maybe your brain is too busy, but I have a very busy brain. And so I listen to a guided meditation and I actually go for a walk while I do it. So I do a walking guided meditation and it is amazing. I highly recommend for anybody who has an ultra busy brain. I highly recommend it. It has totally changed so much for me. So I just wanted to throw that out there. But I hope that you are having an amazing Saturday, and I'm gonna jump right in because I don't think I have anything else but what to talk about today. And I want to try and stay on the 30-minute mark like I said I would. So far, the fundamentals of the Kickstart Challenge have been to break the cycle of commit, quit, feel like shit, of creating the healthy habits in your life that are gonna take you to that next level, becoming the person who has these habits in the core of who you are on a regular basis. One of the most important things of this entire thing is that you're willing to take imperfect action, that you're willing to wake up every day knowing it's a new day, knowing you have a new opportunity to be, not try to be, because that's tiring, but just be, right? Change can happen in an instant. It doesn't have to take a lifetime. It happens with that decision that you make. So no matter where you are, no matter where you've come from, no matter what the obstacles have been in your life, I want you to really hear this, that all of those things, you may right now see them as setbacks, as why did that have to happen? You may be angry. And I want to tell you that every single thing in my life that I've every single thing that I've ever seen as a setback has actually been the thing that has set me up for my greatest breakthroughs, for my greatest successes. And so the more you can start to shift your perspective into that direction, you will start to feel a shift of power in your life to be able to make the changes that you have been wanting to make. So I really want to encourage you to just know that everything that you may have seen as a setback, it's not a setback, it's a setup. It was purposeful. It didn't mean like that, yeah, that pain was supposed to be there, but trust me, there's a book called The Obstacle is the Way, I believe. And it's essentially, I haven't even read it, I just heard about it, but my client told me because I was telling her that it's in the obstacles that is actually the opportunity for us to be able to grow to the next level. You know, one of my clients was having a very frustrating day the other day with a new piece of technology that she was learning to take her business to the next level. And it's like we get this idea in our head that it should be easy. That, you know, I should just be able to do it. I shouldn't feel frustrated. I shouldn't feel discouraged. I shouldn't, you know, this should be like an easy, happy journey. I'm an entrepreneur, yay, yay, yay. But this is what's so crucial to see, is that it is the learning process, right? Like when you go to the gym for the first time and you're building a muscle, it's in that learning process that you begin to grow the muscle to be able to rise up to the next level that you need to go to. So when you can see the obstacle as the opportunity, it's like, giddy up. This is where the fun begins, right? Like, come on, bring it. I know I'm growing. I know this is just like, okay, I feel the grit. I feel it's like, I see it as like sandpaper against sandpaper. I'm like, okay, that's right. This is just an area for me to grow. It reveals to you your belief systems. It reveals to you your thought patterns. It reveals to you your emotional home. And if you stay in awareness of that, you will be able to rise above it. You will be able, but if you shrink down, if you fail, if you fall in defeat and you don't get back up, if you like let the overwhelm totally take you over, then it's like you got to just see it as this is just the building of the muscle, the building of the muscle, the building of the muscle. And I'm just like, I love the thought, okay, bring it life, bring it world, bring it circumstance, bring it, all you got. I want you to throw it at me, because through all of it, I'm just getting stronger. You think it's going to take me out? It's not going to take me out. I'm just getting stronger. I'm building my muscle. So when you can have that perspective shift, you step into a new strength that you didn't know you had. So on that note, let's jump in. So we've talked about the motivational triad. So important to know so that you don't take things personally, right? It's just your brain. It's the way we're wired. It's the way our brain works. So motivational triad, we seek pleasure, avoid pain, and we take the path of least resistance. Our brains like to be efficient. They like to do things fast and efficiently. And for us to evolve to the next level of life, to the next level of ourselves, we have to be able to learn how to do the exact opposite and practice it. So we have to be able to walk towards the discomfort, walk towards the pain. We have to be able to not try to avoid the pain by seeking pleasure, by seeking, foods we want to check out, seeking wine, seeking doing the things. And I'm not saying that doing those things in your life is a bad thing, but when they're in excess, when you notice that they're hurting you on the other side, that's when you know that, whoa, something's going on. I'm avoiding pain, seeking pleasure. And then we have to know when, that's my little dog walking. We have to know when to put in the effort and where to put in the effort, and to reserve our energy to be able to not just do the most efficient thing in our brains, not to get there the fastest, but what is it that I need to do to shift into that person that has the habits that is going to get me to where I want to go. Then we need to decide what it is that we want and remove the shoulds. Dial in that GPS, right? Know where we are, know where we want to go, and know how to use desire. Don't let it use us. then connecting to our why, our deeper why. If you have not done this process, if you need help with it, if it's confusing you, please reach out, post in the group, do whatever you can, because connecting to that 7 layer of your why is critical. And it will begin to develop, it will begin to grow every 3 months. In my workshop that I do, this is something I do with myself every 3 months. The workshop is something I do to give myself my 90-day plan on where the heck I'm going and how I'm going to get there. But the one thing that's so key is connecting to your why. It is so vital. And then focus, using the power of focus, not letting it use you. You use your brain, you direct your brain, and you decide how you're going to focus. And then stop the verbal beatings. No more verbal beatings. No more beating yourself up and being harsh to yourself. I may have to, my dog has an antler he's chewing on, and if he drops it on the floor, it's very loud, so I may have to grab it from him. And today we are going to be, Today we're going to be talking about putting all of this into action. So like I said yesterday, it's not about a certain, like doing it in a certain order. These are tools that you practice on a regular basis. And so it's important to remember that you just start to make notes, remind yourself, and practice. So let's talk about the plan. A goal without a plan is just a dream, right? So, oh my gosh, my dog's like, give me my bone. I don't know. You're gonna make a loud noise. He's so good. You're so good. So a goal without a plan is just a dream. Tony Robbins says most people will overestimate what they can do in a year and underestimate what they can do in a lifetime. So making a plan sets your course. And I have a system that I do. It's not just, it's every week, it's every month, it's every day. I make a plan. And just because you make a plan doesn't mean you're going to stick to the plan perfectly, right? It's the imperfect action consistently. And if you every day, and a lot of us do this because of our wiring in our brain, we jump every morning, we wake up, the first thing in our mind is our to-do list, and we just get up and go. We get up and go. We jump on the bike and we just start biking, and we bike as hard as we can, as fast as we can. But guess what? It doesn't mean we get to the end place quicker. No, most of the time we're like, oh, I forgot this. Oh, I gotta go here. Right? And so when we have a strategic plan laid out, and we begin to work the plan, and we begin to show up and commit to ourselves, we begin to be willing to do it whether we feel like it or not. That is when it's like stepping out in courage, being willing to fall, being willing to fail, being willing to be imperfect. My brain is still waking up. I'm a little sleepy this morning. Being willing to be imperfect and continuing to take action and tweak our plan as we go. So if you jump on your bike, but you don't have that GPS dialed in, where are you going to end up? Who freaking knows? Probably not where you want to go. And that's how many of us, this is why I always say, live your life by design, not default. Consciously choosing to design your life in the way that you want it. And many of us are just jumping on that bike, jumping right into the emotional home that we've always known. And it's about now stepping back and pausing. And so many of us think, I don't have time. I don't have time to make the plan. I just got to get to work, right? it's one of the biggest lies that perpetuates us continuing to jump on the bike. It's like, actually, it's not even a bike. It's like a freaking treadmill. You go nowhere fast. You may be sweating, but you hustling, but you're going nowhere fast. And so it's about taking the time to, and I really had to reprogram my brain to do this. It's like, okay, you have to pause to make the plan. It's like my morning routine. That's so key because it allows me, as part of my morning routine is, and in the workshop, we actually build out our own morning routines in a way that serves us most. But in my morning routine, I have time in there where I plan for my day ahead. And in my weekly Monday morning brain dump, I have an hour where I plan for my week ahead. And in my duty day every month, I have an hour where I look back at my month. I look forward. I'm like, okay, how do I move forward this month, achieving the things that I want to achieve? So this is the power of the plan. You don't do it perfectly. When you don't do it perfectly, you don't beat yourself up, but you continue to practice as you go. It's magic. It is magic. So when you dial in your GPS, it makes all the difference. So you make the plan and then you work the plan. And as you do that, you do it. So the way that I actually do this, I'll give you a brief synopsis, is I do a brain dump. So I already know, okay, where am I, right? You've already dialed this in. Where am I? Where do I want to go? What is my why? You keep your mind focused on the outcome when you're taking action. And I've explained all of this in previous videos, so if you've missed any, go back and watch them. But so whatever that, decide where you want to go. You narrow that down and get really clear on what is the number one thing that's going to be the biggest needle mover in all of this, in everything that I want to do. What is going to be the most important? I'm going to just say a quick side note. You need to look at your sleep. You need to look at how you feel when you wake up. This is one of the things that I learned in my brain health certification, was that sleep is the very first thing that Dr. Daniel Amen says in any weight loss, it's how I've actually changed my entire mastermind program because of the brain health training that I have. It's shifted how I see body health and mental health and physical health and financial health, relationship health. You have to look at your sleep. 8 hours of sleep is vital. Your brain is not able to actually function, and it really messes up your hormones. So if your emotions are all over the place, if you have high anxiety, if you can't seem to lose weight, those things, it all is connected to your sleep. So if you are not feeling rested when you wake up, if you are not getting 8 hours of sleep, they did scans on brains that actually showed a brain that is not getting the right amount of sleep is lacking oxygen, and it actually looks just as bad as someone who's been doing drugs for years. It's like holes in the brain. It's nuts. And we wonder why. It's like the blood flow is not going to our brain. And blood flow to our brain is vital. It's also why drinking the right amount of water for your body is also key. So look at your sleep and do whatever it takes to get good night sleeps. And I'm going to be touching on this more and more as I do my daily videos on my YouTube channel. So if you're not on there, go over there and subscribe, because I'm going to be just doing like daily 5-minute videos on all these different components that are vital to our health and wellness and balance in our lives, our ability to create the lives that we want. I'm just going to go on a quick side note here because I think it's important. I remember when the reason why I went into the brain health side of things was because I knew something wasn't connecting in my brain. I knew something wasn't right. My emotions were all over the place. I couldn't think clearly. And one day, and then when I started putting all the pieces together, I was like bawling my eyes out because for so long I thought something was wrong with me. I thought that like I was broken. I would just never get it. I was stupid. You know, there's a lot of things, a lot of blueprint that was inside of me. And I remember when I first started learning about all of this, I came down into the living room and I was bawling my eyes out. And I said to my husband, I said, babe, I feel like I have been running a race my whole life and I didn't have legs. And like anytime I say this, like even he was laughing and I was crying because it was such a release for me, but it was also so painful for me. I felt like I had been running a race my whole life and I didn't have legs, and I didn't know I didn't have legs. And I would like make progress because I was so damn determined, but it was like I was on that freaking treadmill for far too long. And it was when I started to piece things together and make some changes in my life about things that I didn't know and I wasn't aware of, was then, you know, we have to have awareness first. I was able to process and actually accept what was going on in my life and make some changes and release the pain that was inside of me. And so, you know, really looking at your sleep, the morning routine, and looking at your life and asking like the no longer, I actually, this is what I did, changed in my schedule this week because I was noticing I was going on my social media more often. I was going on my emails, my text messages, like any buzz I would respond to right away. So I shut off all of my badges on my phone. I shut off all notifications. I shut off the buzzing. I shut off everything. And I set up an automatic reply that my emails, I'm only responding between 4 and 5, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so people know. And then I have very clear boundaries in my schedule about when I am going to look at social media and when I'm going to be responding to text message and voicemail and all of that. And it has made such a big difference. But if you're not aware of it, you can't make the changes that you need to make to go to the next level. And so when you have a plan and you work the plan, that's when you start to be able to see the changes in your life. I'm just checking the time. So first of all, really deciding what is it that is most important, that's going to move the needle the most. And then you brain dump, you write down everything that you could possibly think of, and you dial in that plan. So then you pick your top 3. What are the top 3 out of this whole list that are going to move me? And if it is something that's going to take multiple steps, it's important that you break that down into the top 3, not just a big like, oh, I need to eat healthier. That is way too vague, people. No. Okay, so what does it look like to eat healthier? So first of all, making a plan for the foods you will and will not eat, things that actually serve you and don't serve you. You need to schedule in, when are you doing your food prep? Or actually time for making meals. When are you going grocery shopping? When are you making your list? What does your list look like? I like to simplify as much as possible. So the more that my list is smaller, the better, because then I'm not in decision fatigue. I don't waste my time making all these big plans, and then before I even work the plan, I'm too tired to even friggin' do it, right? So to me, simple is better. But really brain dumping and then deciding what are the first 3 steps. And then that's what you do. You don't think about anything else, those 3 steps. And I actually like to even break it down, like what are the top 3 things in my life that are most important that are in my everyday? What are the things that move the needle most? Those are the things I need to focus on most. And everything else, you know what? If I have time, great. If I don't, great. Whatever. What is moving my needle the most? Or I delegate and find someone to do it. Or you gotta cut that shit out. So your sleep, your morning routine, cut out the shit that really doesn't serve you, and you make your plan. And then you work the plan. So this is another thing that was really important, big shifter for me, was that actually putting it into my calendar with reminders and then using a timer so that I had an auditory reminder go off that said like, oh, it's time to stop this task. If I didn't finish it, I have to find another spot to finish it. But it's really about like having that solid plan laid out, and then you don't beat yourself up, but you just, you what I call dot. You just start dotting. So you do, you observe, and you tweak. So you don't, this is where like the whole thing about past, present, and future, you take the facts, you take the data from your past about what's working, what's not working, not to beat yourself up, not to think I should have, not to live in regret, but to just use the data. You use that data to then go, okay, what worked, what didn't work, what do I need to tweak? Do, observe, and tweak. And you continue to take massive action. And don't, when you fall down, you gotta manage your mind, you gotta manage those emotions, and you gotta get back up. The faster you get up, the faster the momentum is going to build. The longer you stay in blame, the longer you stay in anger, the longer you stay in defeat and discouragement, the slower you're gonna move. So it's about being able to notice this and get back up. Now, another trick is that my 5 C's. 5 C's is you have to do the do, observe, and tweak with the 5 C's. So you have to have care, compassion, curiosity, change as you connect to the outcome that you want. So care, compassion, curiosity, and change as you connect to your why, as you connect to your outcome. That is what will wake you up in the morning and enable you to continue to move towards your number 1 desired goal. And that is really the recipe for breaking the cycle of commit, quit, feel like shit. Feel like shit. Feel like shit. So tomorrow, you won't want to miss. I am going to be winding up this whole Kickstart challenge and giving you a bit of a bonus tip that I was really thinking on this week, and it kind of came up after the fact and was like, oh, I gotta share that with you guys. So I hope that you have a beautiful, wonderful Saturday, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. It's 10 a.m. Pacific again. If you can be on here live with me, amazing, because I love it when you're here live. If you can't, I totally get it, but be sure to tune in and check your emails and do the daily challenges and the tools and use those. And if you've gotten value out of this week, you won't want to miss the workshop. The workshop is a time, 4 hours dedicated to actually creating the 90-day you plan. It's taking all of the stuff that we've talked about, and it is creating that time to now put it into full out creating your action. So you know you're dialing in your GPS. You're not just jumping on your bike anymore. Whatever your goal is, whatever it is that you desire, it's the ability to dial that in and to start being clear and intentional about where it is that you want to go, and becoming the person that has the habits that are going to take you there. So whatever you can do. I did have some feedback from someone that really wants to be there. I might be providing a recording for those of you who cannot be there but really want to do the workshop. So I may be providing that, so you can still join in, but work at it at your own pace. So that is a potential option. Not 100% sure yet, but it was a good suggestion, and so I may do that. But if you have any questions about that, please reach out to me. It's really taking you to the next level of where it is that you want to go, and solidifying this stuff, getting it down into, remember when I talk from your head into your gut. If you really want to take your life to the next level and you just feel like there's areas where you're feeling stuck, this workshop is going to really help to blow open that door so that you can walk through and take your steps with confidence as you move forward into this next chapter of your life. Don't get to 90 days down the road and think, like, I wish I would have done that. You know what? Where would I have been? What would have changed? Don't live your life in that place of regret. Don't get bogged down in decision fatigue. Decide what it is that you want and just start taking steps towards it. Life is not meant to be lived in constant struggle and pain and to be doing it alone. I really believe that we were put into families for a reason, and sometimes our families are not what we wish they were. Sometimes our families are not, they don't look like what you wish that they did look like. And so you got to create that for yourself, wherever it is, within your home, within your friends, within community, wherever it is. You've got to find your people that love and support you. And so don't do this alone. Stay in the Kickstart Plan family. I'm going to continue to post in there. And I'm going to continue to show up and encourage you guys as you continue on your journey. So I love you. I hope your Saturday is filled with beautiful things, just as beautiful as you are. And I will see you tomorrow morning.